ARMY smiles. VBTS shares his new plant care hobby amid preparations for his upcoming album. Hello everyone. And welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing. Not because we're chasing numbers. Not because we're racing against the algorithm. And not because we want to be the fastest. But because there are stories about BTS. And especially about Kim Taehyung. That were never meant to be consumed in a hurry. Stories that need time. Stories that require silence. And stories that can only be felt when we are willing to pause for a moment. Today, we are not here to talk about records. We are not here to discuss achievements. And we are not here to count statistics. Today, we are talking about something much slower. Something simple, yet quietly comforting. A small smile that appeared on ARMY's faces when VBTS honestly shared his new hobby, taking care of plants. In the middle of preparing a new album, in the middle of creative pressure, in the middle of the world's expectations. For some people, a hobby may sound trivial, but for an artist whose life is constantly under the spotlight, every small choice often carries a deeper meaning. We are used to seeing Kim Taehyung on grand stages, under blinding lights, surrounded by the cheers of thousands. We know him as a charismatic figure, as a performer, as an artist, but rarely do we imagine how he spends his quiet days away from the spotlight. Days without cameras, without applause, without the demand to be perfect. And it is precisely in that space that V found something that grows slowly. Plants. Taking care of plants is not an instant hobby. It does not offer quick satisfaction. It does not guarantee immediate results. And it cannot be rushed. You water today, but tomorrow, you may see no change. You care for it with sincerity. Yet there is always the possibility that the plant may wilt. And perhaps that is where the meaning lies. Because the creative process V is currently going through is not much different. A new album is not about speed, not about being first, but about depth, about honesty, about the courage to be truthful with oneself. When V talks about his plants, there is no dramatic tone, no forced narrative, no image being carefully crafted, just a calm voice and simple words. And yet, it is precisely this simplicity that makes armies around the world feel closer to him. Because we see someone who is learning to care for something so it can stay alive. And at the same time, learning to care for himself. Let's imagine for a moment. Between recording schedules, between music discussions, in the middle of searching for melodies and lyrics, V goes home and greets his plants. He checks the leaves, touches the soil, makes sure there is enough light. There are no targets, no deadlines, only presence. And perhaps, in those moments, a mind once crowded slowly becomes lighter. Because plants do not demand perfection. They never rush. They never apologize for growing slowly. They simply grow in their own time. And little by little, armies began to realize something. That this hobby, watering leaves, checking soil, waiting for light, is not merely a way to pass the time. It is another language V uses to communicate with the world. If before, he spoke through music, through stages and spotlights, now he speaks through care, through patience, through routine, through silence. And hasn't his music always spoken about these same things? About time passing, sometimes gently, sometimes painfully, about inevitable change, about longing, about distance and closeness, about the quiet fear of growing up, and the quiet hope that comes with it. Plants teach these lessons without words. They grow, they rest, they struggle, they survive. In an entertainment industry that demands everything move fast, fast releases, fast reactions, fast success, choosing to slow down is not weakness. It is an act of courage. And Kim Taehyung chose that courage. He did not disappear. He did not stop creating. He did not abandon the world. He simply allowed himself the space to breathe, to exist without performing, to live without explaining. And from that space, something quieter, but more honest, slowly begins to grow. The new album, currently in preparation, may sound different, calmer, more mature, deeper, less concerned with impressing, more concerned with truth. Not because the world has changed, but because the creator has grown. And perhaps, when we listen to his songs later, there will be a feeling that seems strangely familiar. Like the moment you notice a small plant has grown a new leaf overnight. You didn't hear it happen. You didn't see the effort. But there it is. Not explosive. Not loud. But warm. ARMY's smile. Not because of sensation. ARMY's smile. Because they see someone they love finding his own way to remain whole in the middle of a demanding world. And perhaps, without realizing it, this story speaks to us too. That it's okay if life feels slow. It's okay if progress is invisible. It's okay if we need a pause before continuing forward. It's okay to take care of small things while big dreams are still waiting. The album will come in its own time, with a new sound, with a more honest story, with deeper emotions, shaped by patience. But before that, there is a quiet process currently unfolding, without spotlights, without applause, without expectations. Just his plants, and time, moving slowly. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you feel calmer after watching, perhaps that is exactly what V wanted to share, without saying a word. See you in the next video.